I like that. Who is that by?
A Swedish band called Mando Dio. It's called You Can't Steal My Love.
Swedish rock, it's the future. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
You don't have to laugh. I mean, you know, there were Swedes at home were delighted when I said that until you started laughing.
Exactly. Well, they sold 250,000 records already.
Marc Almond here, well, fit, looking healthy, laughing in the studio. How lovely that is.
It's lovely
isn't it?
to be here.
Oh, thank goodness you made it.
Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, I'm alive!
That was awful news. Obviously, it's horrible when you hear about anyone have an accident. Yeah. When you hear someone who you're a fan of and admire, it's somehow even worse. But what exactly happened? It was a bike accident, wasn't it?
It was a bike accident, yeah. I was riding pillion on the bike. I mean, I've got lots of friends who have bikes and always zoom about London and everything. So having a lovely day, you know, went to see the Incredibles premiere in the morning, went to a Russian art exhibition in the afternoon. Remember everything about it, and then suddenly, bang, you know, my life was cut off for the next 2 weeks.
Can you remember having the accident itself? Can you remember?
Well, I don't have any memories of it. All I remember is just this weird sort of dream as being outside. Apparently, it happened outside St Paul's Cathedral, and I remember hearing Laurie Anderson's "Oh Superman," and I thought it was in my dream. And I came to about 10 days, 2 weeks later, and I thought I've just been dreaming of Laurie Anderson's "Oh Superman," and apparently somebody had it on in their car.
How?
With the door
That's
open.
like a kind of film
the accident,
scene, isn't
yeah.
it?
And it's kind of spooky words to it, because it goes like, you better get ready to go, and you know, and all that kind of thing.
Thank God they didn't have Steve Wright on. You'd have been
exactly.
You'd have had Will Young running around in your head for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
No one wants that.
But it was nasty. I mean, I did a lot of injuries, and the worst thing apparently, in the middle of the road, I was lying in the middle of the road, unconscious, and apparently I came to.
So hold on a second. Though. The fella driving, he whacked into a car. Or a car came in front of him.
Well, the car sort of cut in front, whacked into the
like that horrible advert when the guy goes over the bike.
Do you know what?
Oh.
I saw that the other week on TV, and it really freaked me out.
It must be really alarming.
It really was. I just was absolutely gobsmacked. I just thought, oh my God, that is it. That's like they must have based it on the accident.
So he whacked the car. You went flying over.
I went about 20 foot through the air. Apparently, I came to in the road after lying in the road. I came to and tried to pull the bike helmet off, which is the worst thing you can do if you're in a bike accident.
I didn't know that you shouldn't do that.
No, you must never do that, because it's holding your head together.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
So you can feel okay, and then suddenly you can take the helmet off, and my head, you know, the fractures also.
So you want the pressure? Do you want it to be held in place?
It went into the size of a football, apparently, in my head, and apparently I had two serious. I'd been rushed in for 2 serious hematoma operations on my head. You can see the lovely scars there.
To drain blood out.
All the blood out and everything, and then I came to 10 days later. They didn't know what state I was going to be in.
So were you in a coma for those 2 days?
I was kind of like in a sort of a sleep-induced, sort of half-unconscious, sort of induced sort of coma or something.
So you sort of know what was going on, or you weren't aware?
No, I didn't know anything what was going on. The first thing I remember was just voices in my head, people saying, you know, you've been in an accident, you know, you try and wake up, You've been out for 9 days. 9 days. I was thinking, 9 days. I'd hear my mum's voice, I'd hear my friend's voice, and different voices. I was saying, what are they all doing in my dream?
Yeah.
Get out of my dream. You know, you don't belong in my dream. Get out of my dream.
So you gradually came back to consciousness.
I came back to consciousness. Of course, I tried to pull all the tubes out of my, mouth.
What's wrong with you? You've got to calm down. You're pulling your helmet off. You're pulling the tubes out.
I did.
Let people take care of you,
I had
Armand.
this plug sticking out of my head, and they had to bind my hands up because I didn't know where I was trying to pull all these things out.
Is that because you just were uncomfortable? You just didn't understand what was
I didn't understand what was happening to me, or where I was. I thought I'd been taken kidnapped or something, and something terrible was happening.
That is the first thought that would occur to all of us.
Yeah, and I couldn't walk.
Where does that come from? What do you think I've been kidnapped? You've been watching too many movies.
I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. First thing, I tried to sort of get out of the bed, fell and collapsed on the floor, and the doctors had to kind of all rush in because of the head thing. It was a nightmare, complete nightmare.
And so this was, how long ago was this?
This was 3.5 months ago.
Not that long, really.
Not even that long, really.
So a remarkable recovery.
So as soon as I tasted that hospital food, I said, I've got to get out of here now.
And what about the fellow who was driving? Was he as badly injured as you?
He was very badly injured, but he's doing okay, and he had different injuries to me, so he was taken to a different hospital. So he thought I was dead for 2 weeks because people were coming in and saying, awful. Yeah, you get better now. You know, he's all right. You get better. And of course he thought, well, you know, I'm the person that's killed Marc Almond. You know, so he had a really terrible time of it. So,
poor fella.
But he's doing fantastic. He's doing absolutely brilliant. And he can, you know, walking okay. He's had a lot of replacements and things.
But we all know how, you know, deep down we realise how fragile we are, and we realise the risks we're taking day in, day out. But of course, it's when something like that happens, it really, of course, hammers it home.
You just realise it, and you just realise you sort of go out one day, you know, you're going to make your bed and have your breakfast and go out for a nice day out. And then I came home 5 weeks later. But some people don't come home at all, and that's why I was so lucky, Jonathan.
Of course you were. Would you get back on a bike now? Would you ride on a bike again? So you just consider them too dangerous?
You the weird thing was I was actually going to learn to drive this. I mean, I was on a pillion this time, and I like to ride on the pillion, but I thought I'm going to get my driving test, my bike test this year, and have a scooter or a little moped or a little motorbike or something to start with. And I said, a bike's going to change my life.
Well,
And it
I've
did.
driven scooters for 5 or 6 years around London, and touch wood, so far I've never had an accident.
No.
But a few times I've nearly had accidents because people in cars
They don't see you.
They're a bit silly.
They just don't see you. That is the thing, and so I was very lucky. So I want to keep that good luck, and I haven't got the nerve to get on a bike again.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, I can fully understand that.
Yeah.
But in which ways has it changed you as a person over and above that? I mean, has it had a big effect on you, or is it just you're just concentrating on getting your full health?
Well, I think a bit of both. I mean, I've got a lot of strength from it. I mean, I've certainly got a lot of strength from all the response I got from people, and not all the nice messages from fans and musicians, from all kinds of people. I mean, I came round, and everybody in the world seemed to know about it, but me.
Yeah, it was big news. Of course.
I was getting emails from all over the place. It'd been on the news in Russia, in Asia, and everywhere, and everyone seemed to know what had happened, but me. But so it's made me a lot more stronger. It's made me, trying not to get upset about the little things in life,
Yeah.
and things like that.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
Don't sweat about the small stuff.
But you've quite a life you've had anyway. I mean, because there's several times when you've almost popped off, really. Haven't there?
I think
someone tried to kill you once, didn't they?
Well, it's all been a bit all blown up. I mean, I've had the thing once. It was a nasty sort of row that I had with some people. It's all been kind of blown up into a bit of a drama, that and everything. But I mean, I have, I've been through all my problems.
You've
I've
lived
been
life
through
to
my
the full.
excessive moments, shall we say?
Yeah.
And there have been a few kind of hair-raising moments and things. But I'm kind of, if I was a cat, I'd be reaching the end of my lives now. So
you're calming down now.
I'm calming down.
How old are you now, Mark?
I'm kind of 47 now.
You look great for 47.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And may I say, the scars on the side of your head, I think they become you.
They do.
They give you a slightly rougher look than you needed.
Well, they do. I mean, the hair's a bit shorter than normal, but people are kind of telling me they like it, And I can't stick those chemicals on my head at the moment, Jonathan.
Which chemicals are they?
Well, the old sort of enhancement.
I do not know. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, come on, Ian.
I've read about
Yes.
them. I think you said about cod liver oil.
We all have a little bit of those sometimes.
But can you sing still? Is your voice damaged?
Yeah, I mean, I nearly lost my voice. I mean, if I'd have stayed unconscious for one more day, that I've had to do a tracheotomy on me,
goodness.
which would have been a difficult.
That's when you breathe through the hole in the neck. They cut that
difficult
down,
thing to come back from, and I came round just in time for that. And because it was bruised and battered with all the kind of instruments and stuff, but I'm getting it back and working on my range and trying to exercise and things now.
And being, you've kind of evolved into, I would have thought, first and foremost, a torch singer. Really, someone who sings big ballad songs, big songs about emotions, and big songs about, events in people's lives, that kind of thing. And in a way, I would have thought, having gone through things like this, possibly even helps that, wouldn't it?
Well, I think so. I
I
think it gives you that experience of life, doesn't it? Which I think that you need to sing those big songs. But I think it's nothing really so new for me. I've always, ever since the Mark and the Mambas concerts in the early 80s at the Duke of York's Theatre and things, fans have always known that I've always done this kind of chanson style material and ballad style material, as well as doing the other more kind of pop electronic stuff. So I think it's nice at last to be able to get recognition for doing that. And of course, I did the Almeida show with the Sin Songs, Torch and Romance, and I got rave reviews from that. And of course, everything was going great until this all happened.
Well, thank goodness that you've got through it. And now you're more or less back to full health. You've got a problem with your right arm.
I've got a problem with my right arm. I mean, I've got lots of strength in the bottom part of there. I've got to do the weights and things. I can't lift my arm at all. I can't lift it away from me. And
that's muscular, or that's something else?
It's kind of, I'm pinned. It's all kind of pinned with screws and bolts and everything else.
Will you get full mobility back, do you think?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I find the worst thing now, the cold, damp days, which are bad anyway.
Yeah.
But the ribs, because all my ribs were cracked and sort of broken.
So you actually feel it inside like that?
I feel all the aches and pains on a cold day, and I'm hobbling about,
Could have been worse, of course.
Of course, I'm lucky. I'm absolutely lucky.
I'm so thrilled you're still, because you're a huge talent, you know that. I mean, he's a one-off.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Marc Almond is a one-off, and he's one of the greatest performers this country has.
Thank you so much.
We should cherish him. We should name a park after him.
Thank you so much.
We need to get a bike lane put up in his honour somewhere. We need to do some things. We should address some wrongs here.
Oh, that is lovely.
Okay?
Thank you.
Well, you are. Let's put a statue up. Look, I believe there's still a print going in Trafalgar Square.
There is.
Les Almond, not the period when you were singing with that bloke, Fetus on My Breath or whatever, not that period. One of the safer periods, right? One of the nicer periods. One of the family periods.
What about that from the album?
The nice thing is that my mum can like this DVD. I mean, the fans really like it, but it's a good thing for it's got things like Strangers in the Night, songs by Johnny Ray, Nina Simone, Almond.
Marc Almond, Sin
all
Songs
kinds of
is a
things.
DVD. It's called Torch and Romance. This was live at the Almeida Theatre 2004. I don't know, what was I thinking? I didn't go and see it. What was I thinking? Why didn't I go and see this?
You're
What was
a busy
wrong with
man,
it?
Jonathan.
Not that busy. Not too busy for a bit of Almond. Some great songs as well, because you've always loved that sort of music.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I just love songs. You know, I love songs. I'm a bit old-fashioned. I love songs that have choruses and verses and, you know, middle eights and that tell stories, you know.
Yeah.
And I think other people have realised recently that are coming back to those songs because they're the great songs that always last the test of time.
But you need someone with a big enough voice and a big enough kind of, I hesitate to use the word soul because it sounds a bit pretentious, but that's kind of what I'm saying, that kind of experience to do them justice, and you have that.
Well, I think so, and I think I've grown into that throughout the years. My voice has gone better, it's got a better range, I've had more experience to my life, which I feel that you need to sing some of these songs. You need to have that bit of life experience.
Mark, kids know nothing.
They don't know anything these days, Jonathan.
Look, given the choice between hearing you sing this stuff and the fast food rockers, it's you any day of the week.
Thank you.
And I mean that sincerely.
Thank you, Jonathan.
I'm not just blowing smoke up your jumper. Let's listen to Mark, because this is a track from the new CD that is also at the moment called Heart on Snow.
So it's been out for a while now, but you can still get it. It's like a special edition with like
it's
lots
a European
of like
special. I haven't had this. I don't know why I didn't get this.
Like different
when
Russian
did this come
artists,
out,
and it was out about a year ago now, Jonathan.
Well, I feel let
but
down.
it's a special edition of it with like lots of information about the artists involved and the musicians.
It's a very lavish production
kind
you got
of
here. Beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, make a beautiful present for somebody. I think
it really would.
Along with the DVD, like a pair of them together.
Because you live. How much of the year do you spend in Russia now?
Well, I spend quite a lot. I spend a lot of time over there over the past 3 years. I've not been back for a while because of the accident and things, but I'm going to go back in a few weeks' time to record some more songs with the Russian orchestra for a special Russian edition of the album. So I go there quite a lot, to Moscow mostly.
It must be great working with a full-on orchestra. That must be a wonderful experience.
It's fantastic, and they're great people there. You know, great people the people that I've worked with there are fantastic, and you know, and
do you speak much Russian?
No, I sing better than I can speak. Actually, I can learn the songs more in Russian, and I sing them. But I'm kind of very out of practice now, especially because I've not been back there in about 6 months. I'm looking forward to getting back there again.
Right, we're going to play a track off this. The track, I think we're playing the first one. Are we? So Long the Path.
So Long the Path. Yeah.
The lyrics are by you, aren't they?
Well, the sort of English lyrics are by me, and it's kind of an answer to the Russian lyrics. The Russian lyrics are like a war song about going away to war, and the English lyrics about returning from war. And it's with the St. Petersburg Naval Engineer Choir of Engineering.
Marc Almond with a bunch of Russian sailors.
A bunch of sailors, yeah.
Who'd have thought that combo could ever come to pass?
It never worked.
What did they make of you?
Exactly. Well, actually, they thought I was some kind of space alien. Actually, it was weird.
Oh, but what a lovely. I'd have loved to be there for the first meeting.
It was fantastic.
Okay, here we go. This is from Heart on Snow. We've listened to this earlier. It's really quite beautiful. This is So Long the Path, So Wide the Field. It's not one to get a party going.
Not really. No, it's not a party song, is it?
No, you wouldn't start the evening with it anyway.
I mean, a disco remix, maybe.
Get Neil Tennant on the phone. I have a job for him and Chris. All right, let's see if we can get that one. Go on, stop. Get Fat Boy Slim. We need his help. But it sounds beautiful, and I really sense you like performing that kind of thing. You like giving it that extra oomph.
It's fantastic, and you know, and the great thing is I performed in Russia quite a few times now with a 70-piece orchestra, and they had these great kind of events at the sort of Russian concert halls there, and they have these, and they go on for hours and hours, and they have an orchestra there, and I've been invited to perform at them a few times.
Wow.
And it's a great thing, sort of singing to an audience who don't speak a word of English, you know, but singing to them in Russian and them standing up and accepting you.
But also, it must be odd for you, I would have thought, and maybe I'm wrong, in that they have next to no knowledge, I would have thought, of soft cell, of that period of your career, and
they don't know that.
They don't judge you by that, and you're not someone who's trying to break away from an established idea or a concept of them as a performer. You're just there as a singer in his own way.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, I mean, obviously something like Tainted Love is kind of known there, but the song that they all kind of knew in Russia, I found most of all, was a solo song called A Lover Spurned that I did quite a few years ago. So that is the kind of biggest song that I've had there.
Am I right in thinking that the kind of the Ruski, the Russian mentality, they would respond well to these emotional songs?
Oh, they do, yeah. And they've been really fantastic to me, and you know, working with me and making me feel at home. And you know, I've seen a side of Russia that you don't go if you're a tourist or even just a visiting band for a day or two, kind of living there and experiencing it.
So you have an apartment in Moscow, don't you? I
did do, but I've lost it, and unfortunately, since the accident, I had to let it go because I didn't know when or if I was going to be able to return. But I am going to go back soon and do some more recording. But I'm dreading the cold, though, Jonathan.
So is it bitterly cold?
Well, the cold gets in all your bones and everything else. 10 below zero.
Well, wrap up warm.
Yeah, wrap up warm. It's great.
You want to know what the secret is? Layers.
Layers, yeah.
It's as simple as that, layers. You want to get several layers of silk socks on,
I will have all my layers on and get my Russian coat.
Get layered up, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, heating.
Heating, yeah.
You get heating. You not heard of gloves?
Yeah, gloves, hat, the lot.
Stop whinging about the cold Armour Day. Ever since the accident, me bones.
But it makes sense when you see it in the snow. It's beautiful.
I bet it's beautiful. I've never been to Russia. I would love to go to Russia.
Oh, it's beautiful. You must go there.
I'm scared of the gangsters, though.
It's a bit can be a bit like that, you know. It's a bit kind of Wild West and a bit anarchic sometimes. But don't worry about the gangsters. Worry about the police. They're the worst.
Well, I kind of was using it as a generic term, meaning, you know,
walk down the street and they're trying, you know, if you have your passport on you or identification, you know, sort of, we will arrest you or pay us some money, you know.
And how much money do you have to pay them?
Well, you have to kind of pay. You always have something on you to pay them a few hundred rubles, you know. But if you're a tourist, you're a bit of a target. You
$5. Yeah, like oh man, it's expensive, isn't it? Maybe I won't go to Russia just yet. I'll let it calm down a bit.
Moscow is so expensive now. It's outrageously expensive.
I wish I had something to judge it by, as opposed to when. but how exciting I would have thought to spend time somewhere like that.
It's very exciting, yeah, and I'm very lucky to be able to work there.
But you're based here in London again now, for the time being, until you get back to full strength.
Yep.
Do you know when that might be? Do you have plans of when you might start performing again?
Well, I want to get back on stage in the spring. I mean, I've got to have an operation in 2 weeks' time on this arm to get all the bits and pieces out, you know, so they can't insure me on stage till 3 months after my last operation.
Right. And this will be the last one, you think, yeah?
I hope so, yeah. So I'm kind of aiming. I'm aiming for May to get back on stage. Might be a little bit of a shorter show than the Sin Song show, but just to get back out there. That will be. But
that will be, I would have thought, a great night for you and for your fans.
It'll be an emotional night, I think, and then get in the studio to start some recording. I think again.
Well, if you're playing if you're doing that night in London, we got to go down for it. We got to go down there.
It'll be very emotional, I think. You know,
we'll be crying,
and that's just me. I'll be crying.
I shall run on stage with some flowers for you. Right? Please let me be your flower girl for the night.
Of course, I'd love it. I'd love it.
Oh, Marc!
Oh, please.
He's back! I am delighted you were there. I mean, like everyone, I was really horrified when I heard it. And we were. Everyone was keeping up with the news reports and trying to find out what was going on.
People have been fantastic, I must say. You know, people have been absolutely amazing. Everyone from I'm not even to mention the police, the doctors and nurses and everybody who helped in my recovery and everything. But the fans and people on the radio and TV.
Well, you're well loved.
Amazing.
You're well loved.
Amazing.
I don't know why that is, but you appear to be well loved.
Well, I don't know either. It's a surprise to me.
I mean, you'd think to look at him, he wouldn't be, wouldn't you? Marc, lovely to see you again. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Good luck. Take it easy. Don't rush it. And stay off the bloody motorbike.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Thanks to all our other guests, of course. It was a pleasure spending time with them. I hope you can join us again next week when we will have even more. I don't know who's on. Who's on?
Bob Geldof, the Deers. And we're working on another.
Bob Geldof and the Deers is more than enough for me. 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC.